Hey guys, it's Matt from Sigenergy. We're just doing a MySigen tutorial here on the desktop app. I know a lot of people mainly use it on the phone. We do get quite a few clients that use it on the computer as well. So we've got one of my colleagues' systems here, just running over everything. On the left-hand side, you'll see System, Devices, Alert, Curve, and Settings. The overview of where the power is going, so how much solar is being generated, what the home's consuming, state of charge of the battery, and then the grid. And you'll see the power flow again, so the amount of power that's flowing into the system and what's being used. If it's evening or nighttime or just really low solar generation with poor weather, you'll see the battery discharging power into the house. If you're on a time-based tariff when you may be importing power from the grid, or if the battery is completely empty, you'll see the power flowing from the grid into the house or into the battery. So that will change every 10 or 15 seconds. Obviously, if it becomes cloudy or your home starts using more power, that's where you'll see everything change in there. It's got your system details to the right, so normal operation, on grid. If it was off grid or if you've lost Wi-Fi, this is where that will be shown on there. Connection date of the system, battery state of charge, location, all that sort of stuff's right there. If we scroll down, I've just flicked this over to lifetime before, but if you go to today, how much solar has been generated for the day, how much power has been consumed on site for the day, and then the percentage split of what's been used, what's been sent to the grid, what's been used, and what's been purchased from the grid if you've taken any power. Come down again, it will show you the generation graph of your solar system. So the green line, solar production while the battery's filling up. The blue line here indicates power that's gone to the grid once the batteries reach that full state of charge. The consumption graph, so what was consumed from the battery overnight. You can see here around sort of 6 AM, solar started generating. So then that power was directly consumed as a blend of solar and battery. And also in the day where power's been pulled from solar, or if there's been cloud or poor weather when you've taken a bit of power from the battery as well. Coming down, discharge and charge power. So below the line where the battery's been discharging, below the zero here, and then where the battery's charging up in the middle of the day. Battery percentage, this is probably one of the main ones people check. So just around that sort of 6 AM time, we dropped to just under 50% of the battery state of charge. Battery started filling up. Weather may have got a bit overcast and then filled up again to that 100% mark. If we scroll back up here, you can then do week by week, month by month, lifetime, if the system's been in for a couple of years as well. So you can then see, obviously this site here is 96% self-sufficient. There was a day last month where it just poured and poured with rain, where I think a lot of that power would have come from. If we come back up to the top here, devices. So the Sigen store and the gateway. Might be an EV charger, DC or AC in here. That would all be shown there. So normal operation, everything online. The Sigen system device. So if there's something connected to the smart port in the gateway, or if there's a Shelly relay or something like that. So on this site here, there's a third-party charger that came with the car, the EV charger. If we click on there, if it loads, it'll show you the basic information, so how much power has been consumed through that appliance on that day. Not sure if this is going to load here, so I'll just come out of this one. So there where the value is, if that car had been plugged in and charging, it will show you that 5 kilowatt hours have gone through the charger for the day. So just moving down, we'll now go to alerts. So if there was a fault code because of a Wi-Fi dropout or something else, that's where this sort of stuff would go in there. Curve of the active power, generation for the day. Battery state of charge and gateway again. That's all in here if you want to have any closer look. Settings is probably one that a lot of people may look at. And then we go to parameter settings. So this is where it will show you the operational mode of the system. So I think quite a few people will be looking at maybe a time-based retailer or possibly a VPP with a battery system. The VPP will happen organically through the integration with that retailer, so this would then change once that system's been enrolled and automated. If you're looking at a time-based tariff, a time of use tariff, go to this section here, TOU, time of use, and then you can see the schedule. So we go on schedule. Charging is the time that you want to take any power from the grid when it's at a really low or potentially a free rate. So a lot of those are the 3-hour window between 11 AM and 2 PM. That's already set up to repeat in every day of the week, so that can all just be set up immediately. Advanced settings, cut off, state of charge, I wouldn't look into that at the moment. And then self-consumption mode. Once you click that, it'll pre-select the window there, so from midnight until 11 AM, prior to the charging window you've set. Click it again, and you get that second window from 2 PM to midnight. Once that's set up, you hit submit, and then the changes are saved, and then that time of use mode has been entered. I won't click it here just because that's not what my colleague would like. If you're in AI mode, that's where it would come in here as well. You'll occasionally see maybe a different number or something there once the time of use has been set, but I'll go back to maximum self-powered mode here. If there's an export limitation because of the network provider, that's where it'll show there. You could also set an import limitation. This may be quite important if maybe the incoming power supply may be 50 or 63 amps. If you're filling up your battery on a time of use, charging your car, your hot water's set to run at that time, everything's going on in the middle of the day, you may want to put an import limitation, so you highlight it, maximum import of 12 kilowatts, and that's total power, not per phase because that would be single phase. Hit submit, that'll all be saved there, so I'll just knock that off. Charge and discharge, so maximum charge 100%, discharge, this one's set to 0% with a backup reserve of 5. So that can all be amended here. You just type in 10%, which can't be higher than that one, so I'd have to change that one as well. Hit submit. There's a lot of other stuff in here that may not necessarily be relevant for a lot of sites about the system itself. There is a couple at the bottom though that may be important. Come all the way down. So there's an off-grid setting here. So if there's a third-party inverter, so maybe there is a system already in place and the Sigenergy has been AC coupled, enable third-party inverter black start, and then what buffer you want to set on the Sig battery. So that way the system can kick over and use the panels that are in place on a third-party inverter to charge the battery and run through an outage. 3-phase to dual phase, not important here because it's a 3-phase site. That'd pretty much be exactly what you'd need on there. So I won't save any of that because I don't want to amend anything. Come back to system. And then we can see the live power again is slightly dropped down to 7.5. If there's any other information you want us to cover off, leave us a comment below, but that should cover the basics for the Sigen app on the desktop. Thank you.